Hello again and welcome to Inside Wyoming Football with Cowboy head coach Craig Bohl. It's great to have you along, and we've got some highlights to take a look at. The Cowboys against the Nebraska Cornhuskers on Saturday afternoon. And Coach, you knew one way or the other is going to be a learning experience. There's a lot to gain here in this game. And in front of that big crowd, what a stage for this game on Saturday.
Well, it truly is one of the great college venues, and our players really embrace the challenge. We had a young football team. I think if it would have been 3/4 of a game, we would have been sitting in pretty good shape. Unfortunately, you play 60 minutes, but it was a great experience for our players. I know a lot of our fans were over there, and we're going to learn a lot from this.
Well, shall we go to Memorial Stadium Saturday? Beautiful afternoon for college football. It actually started in the morning. This thing kicked off at 11 o'clock local time, 11 a.m. More than 89,000 fans would come out. They've got a sellout string that goes back to 1962, Coach. Here we go.
Here we start out, and their quarterback's very talented, but we got some pressure on him. This was in the first quarter. I believe it's Carl Granderson and Kevin Prosser and some other guys coming in there putting really good pressure on that quarterback, and that was really encouraging to start out with. Now, we knew they had some great offensive weapons, and here you can see Tommy Armstrong come down. This young man had been suspended the first game and came back, and they got us deep in our territory here. That was proving to be a challenge for us during the course of the game. During this play here, you can see Tommy Armstrong utilizing his legs. He's really an athletic. He's 220 pounds, and he scoots around the left side on the right side for a quarterback keeper. You can see the crowd there. And now we came back, and this is a nice throw and catch. We wanted to get some plays in to get Josh's confidence rolling. 1-2 to Tanner Gentry was really encouraging here. And here you can see, once again, a slant route to Tanner and a play-action pass. And Josh put the ball right where it needed to be, moving down into Nebraska territory. Unfortunately, we weren't able to convert that. Here they come up with, and this guy's a heck of a receiver. He was a menace for us all day. But you can see Andrew Wingert there, not giving up, continuing to run, and it proved to be really beneficial there for Andrew to make that tackle. We flip over in the second quarter, and they're deep in our territory, but Andrew Wingert comes up with a great pick and returns it back out to about 20-yard line. That was a big play. Right now it's 7-0 in favor of the Huskers. So you can see our Cowboy fans, they were scattered throughout the stadium cheering. Nebraska does come back here. You can see a nice job by our defensive front. I think during the course of the game, the traditional runs that Nebraska had done so well against Fresno, we were able to stop. Now, unfortunately, we weren't able to do a good enough job. Here you had a shot for Marcus Epps to really come up and make a pick. That certainly was a play I know he wished he had back. So they come out and convert on a field goal, just barely, and give the Huskers a 10-0 lead. So as we move back here in the second quarter, Tommy comes back, and this was actually a busted coverage. We've got a young secondary, and those are things that we can control. When we challenge plays and they come up with plays, that's part of athleticism. But here we can correct this. And now we're down 17-0 right before the half. Josh comes out with a quarterback draw. We've really done a good job with our 2-minute drill here. You can see Josh working that. Now, this is a great conversion. This is a 4th down and 12. You can see him utilize his legs, throw the ball about 50 yards going to his right on the money to Tanner Gentry. And these are things that Josh can do that, you can't coach. That's a very, very difficult throw. It takes a great deal of arm strength and puts it right on the money to Tanner. And that really gave us a shot in the arm going into halftime. Here you can see while the stats are favored towards Nebraska significantly, we're down by 10 points. It was a big emotional lift as we came in for halftime.
Well, I'll tell you, that touchdown right before the half was huge, Coach. They're up 17-0, and I know some folks might have, not the Cowboys weren't, they're going to run away and hide here, but to get that touchdown with 8 seconds left in the half was huge, I thought.
Well, there's no doubt. That's a step forward in our program, and you play the game to win. We went in there with the attitude to win, and so it's a great way to finish out the first half right there.
Well, it really was. The Cowboys, of course, down 17-7 at halftime. It would be a wild and woolly second half. Stay with us. Come back, and we'll take a look at the highlights right here on Inside Wyoming Football with head coach Craig Bohl. We're back right after this timeout.
There's a force in the West, an attitude unlike any other. A belief that says, let's do this. A shared commitment to academics, leadership, and community service. A bond uniting 11 teams in history, rivalry, and competition. There is a force in the West. We call it the Mountain West. The Mountain West, champions in life.
The 2016 Nissan Altima. An IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. With forward emergency braking that could stop for you. Take on sudden stops. Get to your local Nissan store today and save up to $4,000 or get 0% financing for up to 72 months on Altima.
Get to Nissan, a proud partner of the Wyoming Cowboys.
Inside Wyoming Football with Craig Bohl is brought to you by Nissan, Komatsu, University of Wyoming Outreach School, and Wyoming Relay.
Welcome back to Inside Wyoming Football with Cowboy head coach Craig Bohl. Well, the Cowboys in Lincoln, Nebraska, it's halftime. It's 17-7 Nebraska. That touchdown was big right before the half, and here you go in the second half, Coach. And Cowboys very much in this thing, and they sure looked like they were.
Well, there was no doubt. We came in it with the attitude to win it. We weren't going to try to just play close. Sometimes that's a double-edged sword, but our guys came out with a great bounce in their step. We dealt with some adversity, particularly during the third quarter, and I thought our team handled that adversity well.
Well, let's go back to Memorial Stadium, shall we? Take a look at the highlights of the second half. We're in the third quarter now. Here we go.
Well, here you can see this is a guy who's really added a great dimension for us. Austin Conway's got excellent speed. He's come from our basketball program, and he was a great high school player. And that jet sweep with Austin Conway is a really good play. They moved the ball down. Unfortunately, we couldn't convert for a touchdown, but we did convert for a field goal. Now it puts it 10-17. We're very much in the ball game. Our guys have a lot of confidence right now, and Nebraska's come back here. Here you can see Tommy Armstrong. Now this is a great sack by Carl Granderson. Puts him in a third down and long situation. So our defense is coming up with some stops, forcing some punts. We're encouraged about that. Now here you can see this is a little bit of an errant throw, and a tip down in that red zone area is really, really challenging. And Nebraska does do a great job here in converting. And this is one of the things when you score on defense, typically it's really hard to come back from. There's a huge mental edge. Now, what I was encouraged about was our offense came right back. Once again, another jet sweep to Austin Conway. Here you can see just about comes up with a touchdown, but does come up with a huge play, puts the ball down on their 30-yard line, and here Josh comes back. This is a very, very challenging throw, throws off his back foot. This is to Jordan Ellison all the way down to the 2-yard line. First and 2 at the 2, chances of scoring a touchdown go way up. Get some great movement up front, and Brian Hill comes up, and that's an encouraging sign there. We had a hard time running the ball inside, but here's a case. Here's a great shot of our moving our offensive lineman against their defensive lineman. Now we're down by a touchdown, and Nebraska does come back here. This was a challenge throw here. DJ May didn't want to come up with the interference, but that's Westerkamp, and really good throw and really good catch. And those are plays that we've got to work on, but that shows you a little bit of Nebraska's athleticism. Here, Tommy Armstrong comes back, threading the needle again to Westerkamp, and that's a challenge for us right there. We've got to work on our coverage. So the score is starting to mount, and you can see at the tail end of the game, 52-17, not the outcome that we wanted. There's some positive things that we can build on. We don't have rose-colored glasses on, but we got to take another step forward getting ready for our next game.
Oh, the turnovers, of course, were so big in that fourth quarter, and I think Nebraska might have scored off each of those turnovers, but that's kind of the way things go when you're turning the ball over. That's usually what happens.
Yeah, that was, a recipe for victory is not 6 turnovers. It's going to be a challenge. But typically, those are things we got to clean up. We were so clean in the first game. we had more of a challenge this game.
I'm thinking you have to be enlightened by the fact that the Cowboys did come back. I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Down 17-0, came back. Down a couple of touchdowns on 2 different occasions, come back and make it a 7-point game. That's enlightening, I think.
Well, that's one difference between last year and this year, and we need to build on that. However, there's things that we've got to clean up. I think it was a great learning experience for Josh and a lot of other younger players who never played in that kind of environment. And as coaches, we got to bounce back this week and get a bounce back in our step and get ready for a tough UC Davis football team.
Well, there you go. And you stay with us. We have more to come on Inside Wyoming Football with Cowboy head coach Craig Bohl. We're back right after this.
Here you are. You're at a point in your life where you have plenty to say. Don't let hearing loss stop you. An amplified or cap-till phone can help you stay connected so you can understand every conversation and not miss a thing. Call or visit us online to learn more.
If keeping your work site on time, on budget, and onto the next job is keeping you up at night, you need to wake up to Komatsu. Our machines are designed for production, uptime, and savings. We are more than just iron. We are giving you a technology to move more material in less passes, start sooner, finish faster, and burn less fuel. We are solving problems before you had them. So stop doing what you've always done. The only thing that's going to keep you up at night is wondering why you didn't do it sooner. Discover the job site of your future. Komatsu.
Well, he hails from Aurora, Colorado, played at Grandview High School. Now in his senior season for the Wyoming Cowboys, number 4, Tanner Gentry, is off to a great start. He had 7 catches for 124 yards and a touchdown against Nebraska. And our own Kevin McKinney had a chance to sit down and talk to Tanner Gentry.
Allen rolling right, looks, fires, caught, touchdown Cowboys. Gentry with the catch. Allen out of the gun, rolling right, looks downfield, pointing downfield, fires to the end zone, and this is caught! Touchdown Cowboys!
Tanner, is the relationship between quarterback and receivers overrated?
I don't think so. I think it's really important, kind of just having that bond and that trust factor, knowing that the quarterback can trust you to come down with the catch when he throws it.
Is there more of a bond between you and Mike Mulhart, or do you have to have one with Jake more, Josh more?
I don't know. I think all 3 of us, and including Joe and James and CJ, I think all of us, we kind of have a close bond, and we always are hanging out outside of football, so I think that's kind of helped us on the field. Was it a quick relationship with Josh, or did it take a little while? I don't think so. I think it kind of was pretty quick. Right after the season into spring ball, I think we started to build that relationship with him and the other receivers, and going into summer and then fall camp.
Do you think quarterbacks have a favorite receiver, or do you think it's just the way the defense happened to be that day, or how do you look at that?
I would say that a lot of it kind of depends on the coverage, and I know in our offense, I guess like kind of each side can depend where he's going to throw it. It can depend on what coverage the defense is in, but I would also say that, yeah, I think quarterbacks do kind of have favorite receivers that they like to throw to because they know they're going to make them look good.
Play action for Kaufman. He's got Gentry this time again. Gentry slows up to catch it, and he falls in for the Wyoming score. Scrambles, sets, fires for the end zone. Caught by Gentry, touchdown Cowboys.
You're an old veteran, wise old veteran now. You were recruited to an offense that Wyoming doesn't run anymore, the spread. You obviously have become very suited to the pro style. It's a good thing for you that the Cowboys changed offenses?
Yeah, I would say so. In my freshman year, I remember not being taught a lot about how to run routes, how to create separation and things like that. It was just kind of run to a spot, and if you're open, you'll kind of get the ball. But I've kind of learned to just pay attention to detail a lot more in this new offense, because you just have to think of a lot more ways to get open, because you see a lot more man coverage, and we play some pretty good DBs in our league, so you just kind of have to be creative in ways to get open.
You know, you are a guy that a good team leader. I wonder what do you look at your role as now you're a veteran?
Yeah, that I'm a senior now, and I know a lot of guys on the team look up to me, especially the younger receivers. So I think it's just really important for me to always just be doing the right thing, showing those guys the way. And since I've been playing at this level for a few years now, that they can follow my footsteps and stuff.
Here you are a senior. I don't know if it went fast for you, but here you are already a senior, and you've got to think about the future. You would like to continue with football?
Yeah, I really would. I've been dreaming about it since I was a little kid, to be able to, well, first just play at a D1 college, and then as well as hopefully go on to play after that. So I'm just going to keep doing what I can to help the team win, and everything will fall into place.
Well, Tanner Gentry with those 124 yards, the fourth 100-yard game of his career. Boy, you talk about a solid guy you can count on. Tanner Gentry's that guy.
He's really performed well. You know, last year he was performing well before he separated his shoulder. He's bounced back. He works really hard in the off-season training. He's got very capable hands, and also he's got great speed. And so we've utilized his skill set. He brings a lot to the locker room with experience. Every day he goes out and works hard, and he makes big plays time and time again. Even my first year, he made his first touchdown catch, I believe, against Oregon. Yeah. And it's just been one play after another. Certainly a guy that we've enjoyed being in the locker room, and we're counting a lot on him.
Boy, I'll say, and I know that the quarterback, Josh Allen, must count on number 4. It's nice to have a Tanner Gentry around, Jake Malhart, the other senior, and Hollister, the senior, but to have guys like that to throw to has to be a big plus.
Well, Josh really utilizes him, and it does give a sense of comfort that this guy, if you throw the ball up, he's going to make a play. And so we're really pleased with what Tanner's done. Got a lot on our plate this year, and we look forward to working with him more. Yeah, Tanner Gentry, number 4 for the Cowboys, off to a great start in this his senior year. Well, you stay with us. We have more to come on Inside Wyoming Football with Cowboy head coach Craig Bohl. We're back right after this timeout.
The 2016 Nissan Altima. An IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. With forward emergency braking that could stop for you. Take on sudden stops. Get to your local Nissan store today and save up to $4,000 or get 0% financing for up to 72 months on Altima.
Get to Nissan, a proud partner of the Wyoming Cowboys.
There's a force in the West, an attitude unlike any other, a belief that says, let's do this. A shared commitment to academics, leadership, and community service. A bond uniting 11 teams in history, rivalry, and competition. There is a force in the West. We call it the Mountain West. The Mountain West, champions in life.
Inside Wyoming Football with Craig Bohl is brought to you by Nissan, Komatsu, University of Wyoming Outreach School, and Wyoming Relay.
He is the newest Cowboy coach on the staff. Mike Grant will coach the wide receivers for the Wyoming Cowboys. That's a good group. Why don't we find out a little bit more about the UC Davis defense and the Wyoming Cowboy receivers from Wyoming receivers coach Mike Grant.
They're quite talented, particularly in their skill positions, and they are really kind of really kind of changed their ways a little bit from last season, what they're doing up front and what they're doing defensively. So it was a kind of a scare watching them playing Oregon a little bit. They hung tough early on, and obviously it was a blowout late, but just the things that they're doing, trying to match up front, and those things are causing some issues. So they utilize their talents well. They're playing, not trying to do something that they cannot do. They're doing a little bit more blitzing up front, alternating from their 3-4 front to 4-3. And it just kind of, you just don't know where they're going to be at times. So that kind of poses an issue as we try to figure out, what are they going to do to us and how they're going to match up. Because what they've been facing is a lot of spread teams right now of the film that we can watch. And that's guys just throwing it all over the place. And here we come with our matchup and our style of pro-style offense, just trying to figure out how they're going to try to defend that without a lot of game tape. So just through our film study and preparing, a lot of the stuff they're doing that's more confusing for us is up front. On that back end, we can still see, this guy's going to be in this coverage or this man is doing this. And when those holes are happening, they have the ability to understand it and where to find the leverage to know this guy and where to get to, which is really going to be beneficial. Those guys have played a lot of football. They've seen a lot of these things before in the past, so it'll only benefit us and also helping some of those young guys understand it as we watch film throughout the week.
Boy, what a nice addition to the Cowboy coaching staff. Mike Grant coaching up those receivers. You've known Coach Grant for a long time, and what a great addition, Coach.
Well, certainly has been. Mike and I worked together in 1995. He was a former quarterback at the University of Nebraska. And it was interesting when he played and started at quarterback, he ran out of bounds one time early in his career, and Coach Osborne came, I called him over and kind of deadpan and said, Mike, we play this offense with 11 guys, not 10. And so that kind of gives you an idea where Mike's at. Every day is a level day. He's done a great job of molding our older receivers and bringing along the younger receivers. He's a great mentor, brings a great deal of experience. He spent a lot of time at Iowa State. He worked at Southern Mississippi. He was also at Western Michigan, North Texas. He's an experienced wide receiver coach. He's an excellent recruiter, and just brings a great deal of credibility, and also along with that a great deal of experience. And so really pleased to have him. The receivers have bought into his teaching style, and you can see the products on the field. Our receivers are playing at a very high level, so fun to get back and be reunited with Mike.
Oh yeah, isn't it though? Coach, what about these UC Davis Aggies? You have some experience with UC Davis. Great school and a good program.
Well, certainly is. Now, our institution has not played UC Davis before, but it's part of the UC system out in California, and Davis sits in between Sacramento and the Bay Area, so very fertile recruiting ground. Some excellent skill players. They've always had players who can run. They will be very, very diligent with their assignments, and they'll play very disciplined. It's a great opportunity, but the major thing we got to focus on is the Cowboys. This week we've got to bounce back. We got to build on some of the positive things that we did against Nebraska. And even though the score didn't indicate it, there was some measured improvement that we made. We need to build on that, but then we need to correct those mistakes. We've got to take care of the football, extend our drives, stay on the field more on third down, improve in the kicking game. So it's a great opportunity for our third game.
Well, it really is. The Cowboys and the UC Davis Aggies, they'll kick it off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon right there on Jonah Field at War Memorial Stadium. Come back next time. Check out the highlights with us here on Inside Wyoming Football with Cowboy head football coach Craig Bohl. That'll do it for us. For the head coach, I'm Dave Walsh. So long, everybody.
They'll fake it to him, and Armstrong wants to throw, but he's going to be hit, and he's going to be sacked. Back at the 44-yard line of Nebraska. Armstrong rolling right, throws to the end zone. This is intercepted. It's picked off by Wingard, and he'll take it out to the 15-yard line. Allen out of the gun, rolling right, looks downfield, pointing downfield, fires to the end zone, and this is caught! Touchdown, Cowboys! 27 yards out, hash mark right, the kick is up, and the kick is good. Takes the snap, fades the throw, under pressure, and down he goes! Back at the 45-yard line of Nebraska. Hill is deep, In the eye, he gets it and he runs it on in. Touchdown, Cowboys!